The explosion happened at 2:47 p.m. during the shift change. Toxic chemicals filled the air, emergency systems failed, and 37 workers were trapped inside. The fire department couldn't get close. The hazmat team was 30 minutes away. And everyone was panicking. Everyone except Marcus Johnson, who wasn't even supposed to be there anymore. 3 hours earlier, Marcus Johnson had been clearing out his locker at Peterson Chemical Manufacturing. After 2 years as a maintenance worker, his employment had been terminated that morning. "We need someone we can count on," his supervisor, Bill Watson, had said coldly. "You've missed 12 days this year, left early 36 times, and turned down every overtime opportunity. Single parents just aren't reliable enough for this position." Marcus had packed his tools quietly, not bothering to explain that the missed days were when his 8-year-old daughter Sophie had strep throat, or that he left early to pick her up from school because childcare ended at 3:30 p.m. There was no point arguing with someone who saw dedication to family as a professional weakness. What Bill Watson didn't know was that before Sophie's mother died in a car accident 3 years ago, Marcus Johnson had been a senior chemical engineer at DuPont. He had designed safety protocols for industrial facilities across 3 states and held 6 patents in chemical containment systems. But when his wife died, everything changed. Sophie needed her father, and high-level engineering jobs demanded 60-hour weeks, frequent travel, and the kind of professional flexibility that single parenthood didn't allow. So Marcus had taken a simple maintenance job close to home, fixing pipes and cleaning equipment for a fraction of his former salary. It let him be home when Sophie needed him, but his colleagues saw only a manual laborer with no education and unreliable work habits. Marcus was driving away from the plant when he heard the explosion. The blast shook his truck so violently that he pulled over immediately. Behind him, a massive fireball rose from the Peterson facility, followed by thick, yellowish smoke that he recognized immediately: chlorine gas. Mixed with ammonia from the cooling system, Marcus grabbed his phone and called 911, but his hands were already shaking. Not from fear, from professional knowledge. He knew exactly what was happening inside that building, and he knew that without immediate intervention, everyone inside would be dead within 20 minutes. He turned his truck around and drove back toward the plant. The parking lot was chaos. Workers who had escaped were coughing and gasping. Emergency vehicles were arriving, and the fire chief was setting up a command post well outside the danger zone. "Sir, you need to evacuate the area immediately," a police officer told Marcus. As he approached, "How many people are still inside?" Marcus asked. "We think 37, but we can't get close enough to confirm." "The gas is too toxic." Marcus looked at the building he'd worked in for 2 years. He could see exactly what had happened. A rupture in the chlorine storage tank had caused a cascade failure of the safety systems. The automatic ventilation had triggered, but the backup generators had failed, trapping the toxic cloud inside. Fire. Chief Rodriguez was arguing with someone on his radio. "I don't care what your manual says. We can't send people into that death trap." Marcus approached the command post. "Chief Rodriguez, I'm Marcus Johnson. I worked maintenance here until this morning. I know the building layout and the chemical systems. Sir, I appreciate the offer, but we're waiting for the hazmat specialists. They'll be too late," Marcus said firmly. "The concentration of chlorine gas in there is increasing every minute. By the time specialists arrive, everyone inside will be dead." Chief Rodriguez studied Marcus's face. "Are you trained in hazmat procedures?" Marcus hesitated. His maintenance worker identity said no, but 37 people were dying while he worried about revealing his past. "Chief, I'm a chemical engineer. I designed systems exactly like this one. The explosion damaged the primary containment, but if I can reach the manual override in the basement, I can activate the emergency venting system." "You're a maintenance worker," Bill Watson interrupted, having overheard the conversation. "Don't listen to him. He's just trying to look like a hero." Marcus turned to face his former supervisor. Bill, remember when the cooling system malfunctioned last month? And I told you exactly which valve to shut off? Remember when I warned you about the pressure buildup in Sector C that everyone else missed? Bill Watson's expression shifted from dismissive to uncertain. Marcus continued. I know you thought I was just a janitor who got lucky, but I recognized those problems because I've been designing chemical systems for 15 years. Before my wife died, I was lead engineer at DuPont. Chief Rodriguez made a decision. What do you need? A hazmat suit and 5 minutes to explain the building layout to your team. The manual override is accessible through the maintenance tunnel I've been cleaning for 2 years. I know exactly how to get there. 20 minutes later, Marcus was suited up and leading 3 firefighters through the service tunnel beneath the Peterson plant. His voice was calm and professional as he guided them through the maze of pipes and electrical systems. The chlorine storage is directly above us now. He radioed to the command post. I can see the rupture point. We're about 60 seconds from the override panel. His hands moved with practiced efficiency as he reached the manual controls. These were the same systems he had helped design at his previous job, redundant safety measures that could save lives if activated correctly. Initiating emergency vent sequence, Marcus announced as he input the override codes. Toxic gas should begin clearing in 90 seconds. The building's fans roared to life, and slowly, the yellow-green cloud began dissipating. Emergency medical teams rushed in to evacuate the trapped workers. All 37 survived. Later, as Marcus sat in the parking lot removing his hazmat suit, Chief Rodriguez approached him. Mr. Johnson, I've never seen anything like that. You saved 3 dozen lives today. I just did what needed to be done, Marcus replied. Bill Watson walked over, his expression a mixture of shame and amazement. Marcus, I had no idea about your background. Why didn't you ever tell us? Marcus looked at his former supervisor. Because it wouldn't have mattered, Bill. You still would have seen a single dad who put his daughter before overtime. And honestly, that's exactly who I am. But you're also clearly overqualified for maintenance work, maybe, Marcus said. But Sophie needs a father who's present, not one who's traveling constantly or working 16-hour days. The maintenance job let me be both a provider and a parent. The next morning, Marcus received a call from Dr. Elizabeth Hayes, the plant's owner. Mr. Johnson, I've reviewed your personnel file and spoken with Chief Rodriguez about yesterday's events. I'd like to offer you a position as our Director of Safety Engineering. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Dr. Hayes, I appreciate the offer, but I need to ask about the schedule. My daughter gets out of school at 3:30. Dr. Hayes interrupted. Mr. Johnson, yesterday you proved that being a devoted father doesn't make you unreliable. It makes you someone who understands what really matters. This position comes with flexible hours and the understanding that family emergencies take priority. 6 months later, Marcus Johnson was leading the redesign of safety systems across all Peterson facilities. His daughter Sophie had his work schedule memorized and was proud to tell her friends that her dad was a hero who saved people. And every day at 3:30 p.m. sharp, Marcus left the office to pick up his daughter from school. Not because he was unreliable, but because he understood that being a good father was the most important job he would ever have. Sometimes the people we dismiss as unreliable are actually the ones with the clearest priorities. And sometimes putting family first doesn't make you weak. It makes you exactly the kind of person others can count on when everything falls apart.